Hey guys, Dark Humility with another closed beta. Season 11 mini guide and demo. Of course, here we have a Mind Blast Assassin, which we actually don't have yet because it didn't freaking forgot to get my skills, my skills and stat points. But anyway, we have here a Mind Blast Assassin. Just take my word for it. And this Mind Blast Assassin here is very strong stuff. Keep in mind though, with the testing and whatnot though, that there might be changes to it in the open beta notes. Also keep in mind that we don't have corruptions because it would take too long to farm those corruptions, and they just enabled them, so I was able to get a +2 Annie, but that's about it. We're gonna take the reason why we're doing this build. Now you might think Mind Blast is getting better, and it's still pretty strong, but what's special about it in Season 11? Well, the Shadow Warriors got their AI updated big time, and they will cast the Mind Blast with you, making it doubly effective, particularly against high HP monsters and things of that nature. So it is very strong. You could even run it in Fortified, but it might be a little bit harder to chain between the monsters doing it. But yeah, you definitely can for sure. And it is definitely very effective stuff. But yeah, overall, it is very strong ability. Of course, you're going to want to max out all these beautiful things, but we'll be going over the stats, the skills, the gear here pretty shortly. Another interesting thing is Shadow Warrior is already maxed out in order to max out Mind Blast, so that is another huge benefit, of course, of this. And the other benefit is you don't need attack speed, you just need cast speed. It is a cast speed based skill, so that is also really cool too as well. But anyway, make sure, of course, to join us for May 13th to May 14th. One of those days, we'll be launching the new Sacred Tablets or tier list and infographic for the new season. Check that out live at twitch.tv Dark Humility. Or, of course, we're also going to be doing the new season. New season starts 10 a.m. PT, May 16th. Get hype! Assassin's got a lot of crazy changes, so I'm actually making 3 videos for her. There's some classes where I'm satisfied with only making 1 video each because there's not too much going on. I think that's like hugely impactful in terms of buffs or in terms of changes that really make the build really cool that I haven't shown off before in Season 10 or Season 9 with relevant videos already. I'm trying to show off the really cool, interesting things for Season 11 for the Season 11 videos, so that is what we're doing here with Mind Blast. Of course, we'll do the stats, the skills, the Mercenary, the gear, and then we'll show her off in some maps. Might also show her off in some Uber Ancients as well. And guys can definitely check that out. So, really cool stuff, just in general though. But yeah, I will tell you guys all about the relevant things you're going to need for this build and setup, and you guys should be very confident you can do it with no problem. Alright, anyway, remember you can also bow in town, which is really cool. I'm going to make all my shadows here. I got a lot of them. They are going to be my bread and butter, for sure. Psychic Hammer does kill Fizz immunes on this character as it smash you damage, but as you can see, if you go really crazy with the plus skill corruptions, you can get the damage quite significantly higher, and it could be even faster and more effective. So, good stuff. Anyway, let's go over the stats. So we're gonna get enough strength to wear our gear. We are going, which we have a lot of extra strength from Enigma, so there's that. We also need to put enough dex to wear our gear, and that's pretty much it on this kind of a build. And then Vitality, you're going to max out the rest there, and then you should max out Res without too many issues with Fade. You're also going to get damage reduction from it, and the more damage reduction, the more you're going to be able to survive jumping into monsters, as you see we'll be able to do here. And it's just good stuff in general. Hit recovery is really good for jumping into mob packs, and then of course you have the faster cast rate. So faster cast rate, you're going to want 102. That's a very nice breakpoint, or 174. With enough corruptions and enough power in general, 174 is doable, particularly with the new constricting loop rings able to hit 30. It's actually not just doable, it's very, 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 very possible. Even with Enigma, I believe. Even without it, you can also go, but then you might lack some mobility, which we'll kind of explain. Your sustain is definitely mana and life per kill. And you're going to want as many plus skills as possible, as it is a physical caster build, kind of like Warcry and a lot of other similar things that I'm sure you guys have seen before. Alright, let's go into skills. So in skills, as you might have seen me respecking there, because I forgot to respec it before I started the video. Pretty fucking crazy of me here. I'm going kind of crazy finishing up the testing in these videos here, so you can understand. But anyway, that's how it is to be in the Mad Lab, man, every single time. So Mind Blast, you got Psychic Hammer, you got Cloak of Shadows, and you have Shadow Warrior maxed out. Of course, with 3 Shadow Warriors, with 1 each from the new claws. Yeah, they're pretty much invincible. Like, there's nothing you can do to kill these things, and they'll help you out with survivability a lot, and they'll also add to your damage to some extent on this build. And then of course you're gonna max out Fade for survivability, 1 point Dragonflight, and 1 point Blade Shield. If you have any life leech, Blade Shield would be nice. I don't even think Blade Shield's really doing much on this setup, but it could be nice on different setups that have leech. And of course, we're then going to take a look at the Mercenary. This is an Act 5 Whirlwind Mercenary. Now, damage auras don't affect physical casted damage abilities, but what does are negative physical res, curses, and things of that nature, like Battle Cry and Amp. So we're going to want those to proc as much as possible. Cyclopean Roar and some very high amplified damage weapon off of Innocence. I really prefer this. This Mercenary is really sick, honestly. Proccing that Amp and Battle Cry very often makes you strong. Also, since it's Whirlwind, he'll also proc Battle Cry in other instances as well, and he'll make sure to get right up into those monsters, and that will be very nice. But you have Sigurd's Staunch, Drax, and Gore Riders for survivability, and Life Leech. Sigurd's Staunch is amazing for survivability, and it's particularly really good on the Mercenary, and has other very nice applications as well. You can also use Act 1 Mercenary. Since you have 3 shadows, it should survive with enough survivability, and you can go Wrathbow for Amp in the late game. Obviously, there's cheaper versions on both this Merc and the Act 1 Merc. The Act 1 Merc might be nice for running around LOD areas and Vigor auras, so definitely keep those in mind. But anyway, we're going to use 2 of the new claws. So they're pretty comparable, I'd say, to Shadow Killer. Shadow Killer might be slightly better with more skills and more FCR overall. So these you could swap out for Shadow Killers still, maybe 1 or 2, and you can still get the benefit of 1 or 2 shadows over 3. I actually like 2 shadows or 3 shadows the most, so it's kind of up to you, but the negative Phys Res does make up for the lack of plus skills and FCR that you would get on that item. Also, apparently we're actually down to Shadow Warrior skill. Oops. I can fix that real quick with the Divine Orb, the Demonic Cube, if I wanted to. I said real quick, but I don't think it's okay. There we go. Anyway, pretty easy to do, no problem. Enigma, so believe it or not, since you have good cast speed, the teleport speed on Enigma isn't bad. And since you don't have Dragonflight, chaining between monsters is kind of important on the map, so kind of going from Blink to Dragonflight can be very effective on this build. And the Mercenary will still run into the monsters, proccing the Amp and the Battle Cry for you. I'm only using this because it's I didn't bother getting a 220 Assassin circlet this beta, so we're actually missing some really free plus skills, not just corruptions. But it is giving us the faster cast rate with this setup. I did make one of these though, so that's really cool. 310 Amulet. And we're using the new ring, Stone of Jordan, and Iraq, and then 2 Shadow Disciplines. Don't forget about this one, the low-key Shadow Dancer. I gotta say, I've never seen Mind Blast quite like this. By the way, CTA, Lidless on Swap, Shadow Discipline, GCs, Life Res, plus skills. I've never seen it quite like this. I really haven't. This is like the sickest Mind Blast for sure. So if you want to run Mind Blast, this seed isn't as sick. You also get an extra shadow with full nats as well. So there's just a lot of really cool things going on. Anyway, let's get into it here and show you guys what this is all about. See, I can use Blink quite a bit, but I'd alternate using Blink and Dragonflight, so one or the two of them is always on cooldown. See, I kind of messed up there. 2-second cooldown on that one, so. Look how cool it is. Like, if I don't do anything, you can actually see what the shadows are doing. So the shadows are killing all the cows. Whispering Mirage, particularly good against single. It makes this a pretty good single target ability, so. Very, very, very cool stuff. Hopefully you guys are super hyped for this season. Assassin and Sorceress, I would say, got the most impactful changes overall. So we spent a lot of videos on them this season. Hopefully you guys enjoy all these awesome, insane builds. But we'll move on to more insane stuff coming up here, though. You can see though between Teleport though and Dragonflight, it's very good. The one thing about Dragonflight is it gets the Mercenary right in there, so that's nice. Wait, I just realized something. I don't have a Fade, and also my shadows died, so. Okay. There we go. We're back in business. Yeah, shadows are pretty big for this, honestly. They make this feel like 10 times better. It's so sick having 3 of them. This and with the ring expanding, the more times you cast it as well. So you can see you can chain pretty well though. It's actually putting up some pretty solid numbers this season. Better numbers than I've ever seen. And takes some practice to chain between Teleport and Dragonflight though. You know, look how fast the shadows killed a single target. It's actually kind of nuts. Which is why I'm going to show you guys Uber Ancients too here.
Good afternoon.
Good to see you.
Alright, so what do we got here? Yeah, so let's not forget our buffs this time, particularly Fade. Now another thing that's interesting about the shadows is you want them to cast bursts of speed even if you're not using it yourself, because they actually become a lot more responsive. So a lot of people don't realize it's actually really good with that. It's actually something I almost forgot to mention in this video. I try to think of as many things as I possibly can, but you know.
Forgive me.
Look at that, man. Look how crazy that is, the overlapping, and I even lost a shadow there at the end. That's just how much damage Uber Ancients do, but yeah, it's super comfy. Super comfy Uber Ancients. Like, this build's super insane. Really enjoying the Mind Blast. I honestly think if you can keep them alive, things like even like Tier 0 D clones should be pretty sick on this too. It's too bad, too bad you can't test it though. Of course, that would be kind of cool. I don't think you can test it anyway. Can you? No. They never allow you to test these in the beta. That's always a pain. I actually didn't even try this beta because I'm just so used to them not allowing you to, so. But we'll also show off a non-cow map as well, so you can kind of see that. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the mini guide and demo for the new Mind Blast Sim with 3 shadows. What a sick setup, right? You guys are as hyped for Season 11 as I am. Season 11 Prosperity once again is the 16th. And the tier list and infographics should be released the 13th or 14th. It'll be released live, twitch.tv Dark Humility. Check that out. From the Mad Lad in the Mad Lab to you guys. You guys are freaking beasts. Look how much damage that is, it's crazy. I love the double proc of the negative fizz ores, but it's pretty sick. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. Let's get it. Dark Humility over and out. Smash it.